So, the new Dungeons & Dragons film is just about out, and I have to say, I've not been terribly excited by it. You know, I've watched all the trailers, and it looks like a generic fantasy movie. There's nothing here to get terribly excited about, and it's not been very loyal to the rules. You know, the druid shapeshifting into an owlbear, which is outside the rules. I know they're changing 1 D&D to make it applicable, but under the current rules, that's just not possible. So it breaks the game. But I'm probably going to go and see the movie, because I'm a role player, and I go and see the movies. You know, I've been to see the Mutant Chronicles movie, I've seen all the other ones, I've seen the animated Dungeons & Dragons movie. I own a VHS box set of the Kindred the Embrace TV series. And I love it. But this movie hasn't terribly excited me. But I was watching the most recent trailer. And I'm sat watching it. Wait a second, I recognise those. That's Eric, that's Hank, that's Bobby, that's Sheila, that's Diana, that's Presto. That's the original kids from the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon out in the 80s. What are they doing in this movie? That's what I want to see. I want to see the continuing story of those kids. I don't care about the main cast. These bunch are bland and uninteresting to me. But finding out what happened to the original kids, I am fascinated by. Now, they pop up another couple of times in the trailer.
Can we reach the cage?
But that just makes me wonder what's happened to the kids in the meantime. Most of them seem to have lost their magic items. We can see Presto still has a hat, and Sheila still has a cloak, but whether they're still the magic hat and cloak that they had in the TV series, we don't know. Perhaps they just felt cold and they decided to put a hat or a cloak on. But Bobby doesn't have his club, for example. We see him picking up an axe instead. And Bobby himself seems to be older, or perhaps he's become a demi-human. So are there decades of stories here we haven't seen? Is there some magical epic which has happened to transform them and lose them the artifacts they had? This is the story I want to see. Now, while Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez might be very charismatic actors, I'm not interested in them. They don't stand up to the kids that I grew up with watching in the 1980s. I want to see their further stories. But anyway, I've just wanted to rant for a bit, so let's talk again once the movie's out and we've seen it.